Welcome back to JT on the Go. Today we are in Rome, Italy, about to check out the Roman Colosseum in the underground tour to learn how this thing worked in ancient times.
Even though Rome's metro can't take you everywhere in Rome, it can take you right to the Colosseum. To get to the Colosseum, take line B to Colosseum. That means Colosseum in Italian. The station is right next to the Colosseum. Several bus lines serve the Colosseum too. This includes lines 51, 75, 85, 87, and 118. But keep in mind that in certain times of the year, the roads around the Colosseum will be closed off. One of those is the Giro d'Italia bike race that finishes its race in Rome. We saw the Giro d'Italia come through the city before videotaping the Colosseum. Because it was overcrowded at the Colosseum metro stop during the bike race, they closed the station to prevent trains from dropping off large amounts of people and cause overcrowding. When stepping into the Colosseum, it is a colossal building that was used for more than just fighting. We are part of a tour group that will tour the underground portions of the building. One of the first things we saw was an animated movie that showed a tunnel that was used when the Colosseum was used for fights. This hallway that the show is being projected off of was originally 80 meters long. It connected the Colosseum to the Ludus Magnus, that is also another ancient ruin left by the Roman Empire. This is how the gladiators and actors got to the Colosseum. I'll dive into what this place was used for later. This is now seeing what the Colosseum looked like at its heights compared to what it looked like centuries later all the way to the present day. The gladiators were armed combatants who fought in public areas in the Roman Empire just to entertain people. The Colosseum was designed for live entertainment. We are in the underground parts where the behind the scenes take place. Here we will learn how the man-controlled automation worked. It is today a major example in Roman Empire engineering. The Colosseum was built in 72 AD and completed in 80 AD, making it a whopping 1952 years old. What we're seeing now is part of the building's draining system, built in to prevent flooding. Over the years, the Colosseum has worn down to what it looks like today. It's because it was damaged by lightning strikes, earthquakes, and farther time, vandalism and pollution also caused harm to the building. Pope Benedict XIV declared the Colosseum a sacred site and protected it in 1749. Tourism did not begin until the 1990s after being restored by state funding. Actors, animals, and gladiators were moved around in these areas that we are touring. The name of the network of tunnels was called Hypogeum. Then to get to the level of the arena, the animals and gladiators were raised via vertical shafts and trapdoors, kind of like elevators. The wooden shaft was pulled up and down by a team of slaves that operated the ropes, pulleys, and winches. This is what the elevators looked like. The difference between this type of slavery is here, the form of government is a monarchy. The United States government was a democracy, and its people voted to allow slavery. Any type of slavery is bad. There are walkways that fence off the Colosseum ruins from spectators, kind of like what we saw when visiting Roman Empire ruins at the La Almunia Museum in Valencia, Spain. Roman Empire locals had a taste for gore. When the Colosseum was opened, they celebrated by killing 5,000 animals. The level we are on was covered by a wooden floor when the Colosseum was used for shows. The Colosseum was made out of travertine limestone, a type of stone, along with concrete and volcanic tuff, which were held together by iron clamps. Some archways are a little short. They were the perfect height for me. Others had to duck their heads if they are too tall. The Romans were known for building larger buildings than the Greeks, but on the outside of the Colosseum, they still respected fine points in Greek culture. The structure was decorated with Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian, the Greek orders of columns. The animal species that fought the gladiators in the Colosseum were lions, tigers, bears, elephants, hippos, crocodiles, rhinoceroses, and more. Keep in mind, some of these animals were carnivores, which makes these fights crazy. As for the gladiators, most of them were prisoners of war, slaves, or criminals. There was a 2000 movie called Gladiator, which had some scenes of people fighting in the Colosseum. There is a Gladiator 2 coming out on November 22nd, 2024, which was the day before this video was released. That concludes the underground tour. Gladiators practice in special schools, including some near the Colosseum, like the Ludus Magnus and other facilities that are next door to the Colosseum. The fights that occurred in the Colosseum were extremely graphic, more graphic than the bullfights that occurred to the present day in Spain. Now that we're on the ground level, we are going to the top. The ground level can give you a look at our previous location. Like we saw in the video, the Ludus Magnus was connected to the Colosseum by an underground tunnel. To get to the top of the Colosseum, we're using a modern-day elevator that they somehow put in the Colosseum without causing damage. This section was built to give guests an idea of what the ground level looked like while seeing the underground parts. That's a section where the animals and gladiators come out. In recent years, the Colosseum has gone through several restoration projects to keep it in good shape for generations to see. To this day, the Colosseum has been visited by 7 million tourists each year. Here is the elevator I talked about earlier, put in to help visitors that are disabled to get to the second and third levels of the Colosseum. Metro Line B became the first metro line to open in Rome. Its construction of the Colosseum metro station did not affect the Colosseum. The station was designed to be near the Colosseum without having to cause damage to its ancient culture. The Colosseum was approximately 189 meters long, 156 meters wide, and 48 meters tall. This diagram shows what the Colosseum looked like before it got damaged. It is crowded out here. All of the marble seats and the decoratable materials the Colosseum had disappeared. Fights were attended by spectators from all classes of Roman society. Some shaded spots in the Colosseum have pieces of ancient artifacts. To protect visitors from the scorching sun, canvas awnings were built in the Colosseum, which offered shade to the spectators. Small part of the Colosseum. If you want to learn more about the Colosseum, use the link I put in the description. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow my Instagram account for more videos about European countries. This is JT on the Go signing off. Take care.